listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Near-death experiences. These are experiences that people have who have either died or been brain dead but have come back to life to tell their story. When this happens, people often recall supernatural activity, particularly the feeling of detaching from a physical body. While this has happened all throughout history, it's been particularly prevalent with greatly improved resuscitation techniques such as CPR. Even Paul had a story to tell when he wrote to the Corinthians. He talked about being swept into the heights of heaven, and he wasn't even sure whether it was in the body or out of it. He talks about hearing unspeakable things, a supernatural world. Largely, scientists over the years have called this phenomenon hallucinations, things that aren't real, that are just the imagination of people in their comatose state. This is what they have said until now. Recently, on TV3's project here in New Zealand, the panel were stunned at current and robust research on near-death experiences. They had reported on prominent US researcher Dr. Sam Parnia from the New York University, who had researched hundreds of patients across the US and the UK, and these were people who were brain dead and then brought back to life. For the first time, they were able to validate millions of people's reports of being lucid during this experience. It was a very real experience, not hallucinations. Many patients that were researched experienced remarkably similar things. Bright light, very bright light, a godlike presence, seeing themselves from above, and the incredible ability to recall and evaluate everything they had ever done. They remarked that normally we can only remember a tiny fraction of our lives, but in this stage their consciousness becomes enormous. There is an evaluation of things from the perspective of morality and ethics. One woman who had a brain operation when she was 12 and she was an adult when interviewed said she saw a beautiful bright white light with beings all around her. Didn't see features, but the beings were welcoming. They were cheering and clapping and happy that she was there. And when she recalled her life in vivid detail, the question came to her, how was my conduct in that specific instance? What could I have done better? And she felt that she had a second turn at life, a chance to figure out what you could do differently. She came back thinking that life is now full of purpose and there is so much good stuff to do. This was a uniform experience, as we said. It was across the board. These features all lined up together. And astonishingly, this lines up totally with what is in the Bible about the afterlife, with death and eternity. Again, Paul talks about this in 2 Corinthians 5, where he says, we are convinced that even if these bodies we live in are folded up at death like tents, we will still have a God-built home that no human hands have built, which will last forever in the heavenly realm. We inwardly sigh as we live in these physical tents, longing to put on a new body for our life in heaven. In verse 4, so while living in this tent, we groan under its burden, not because we want to die, but because we want these new bodies. We crave for all that is mortal to be swallowed up by eternal life. So with this validation of life after death from science, from research, the question is not now, is there life after death, but rather, where will I spend eternity? My hope today is that you will find this eternal life with your Creator through the person of Jesus Christ, who said that He is the way to the Father. He's the way, the truth, and the life. God bless you.